Hey there, today is the final day of resume week and the theme is finish. You have worked so hard on your resumes this week. Thank you so much for doing so and joining this event. We're at the finish line now, and today we're going to talk about some best practices to ensure you're submitting a high quality resume to every career opportunity you're interested in. Probably the single most important thing you can do once you write your resume is to proofread it and also have it reviewed by somebody else. I have reviewed thousands of resumes in my career, and if I were job searching, I would have a resume review done on my own resume, no questions. Career services can do resume reviews anytime, and this is something that can easily be done via email or Zoom if you can't make it into the office. Having somebody else read your resume can not only give you ideas for content, but they can also help ensure that there are no spelling or grammatical errors or any other typos. Grammarly.com is also another really great resource you can use to check your sentences. You've spent so much time creating a great resume, so make sure that you're putting your best foot forward and making a good first impression. Having a sloppy resume or one with several typos or other errors may make it seem like you didn't put much thought into your resume or care, or that you don't have the best writing or communication skills. So take the time to get the feedback to ensure you're submitting a really, really good document. When you're using your resume to actually apply for an opportunity, ResuMatch is a great resource to help you proofread your resume and compare yourself to the job. This website lets you upload the job description and your resume, and it then again compares them to one another to see if the keywords on your resume match the keywords in the job description. As I mentioned the other day, the more keywords that you have on your resume that match the job description, the higher your chances of appearing qualified and a match for the job to both a recruiter and the applicant tracking systems that we talked about in earlier videos. So once you've proofread your resume, made any final edits, and proofread it again, celebrate all of your hard work, because on average, studies have shown that a really good resume can take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to write. So be proud of yourself. Unfortunately, the world of job searching is very competitive, and you never know who you're up against when you're applying to opportunities. So taking the time to really perfect your application materials will pay off in the long run. You've done an incredible job, and you're now ready to take the next steps and get ready to apply for opportunities. So let's chat about some final tips. It's best practice to create a job searching folder on your computer to save your resume drafts and also back it up on a flash drive if you can. Saving a Word or a PDF version of your resume is best, because employers often prefer one of these two types, and they will often specify in the application instructions what they would like you to include. You also want to make sure that you are using professional file names when you save your resume. For instance, K. Smith resume 2022. You want to avoid saving a file that names the employer. So for example, K. Smith JCC resume, because that might allude to the fact that you're sending out multiple resumes, which of course you should be when you're looking for a job. But a better practice instead is just to save it with a generic professional name and then save it into a folder on your computer that is specifically for that employer. You want to name that folder with the employer's name and the job title, and include the job or internship description in there. In that folder, when you save your resume, you will submit for that application. So for example, the folder might be called JCC Career Services Job. And then within that folder, you'll have your resume that you want to use to apply to that position, along with the cover letter and anything else the employer is asking for. This way, you can make sure that you're not accidentally uploading the wrong resume or cover letter for that application. When I was a recruiter, I once received a cover letter that was written to and talked about wanting to work for a completely different company. And I'm sure it was just an accident on the applicant's part, but it was not the best first impression. And then, like I mentioned, it's also a really good idea to save a copy of the job description into that folder. That will come in handy if you get an interview. It will help you ask questions. And then if you get a job offer, it will also help you when it comes to salary negotiation. So as you get ready to apply to positions, you will also need references. As I mentioned before, you will not include references on your actual resume. Instead, it will be a separate sheet that matches the look of your resume, as you can see here. Your header will be the same as what you used on your resume, and you will have a title called references, and then you will have all of your references. Now, for this event, you do not need to gather any references or complete a resume sheet for us, but I wanted to make mention so that you are aware of the need for references and some best practices around this. When you're deciding on whom to use, professors, supervisors, coaches, and coworkers are all great options. You always want to make sure that you ask their permission first and only ask them if you think they're likely to give you a good reference. As time goes on, the people that you use on your reference list, just like much of the information on your resume, will eventually change. For example, 5 years from now, it may or may not make sense anymore to use a current professor from JCC as a reference. Maybe by that point, it would make more sense for you to use a professor from your transfer program or maybe a supervisor at a job that you will have. So finally, when it comes to applying to opportunities, remember to always follow the directions that the employer has given. If they say no phone calls, please don't call. If you're applying in person at a career fair, be sure to print out your resume on really nice resume paper and not standard computer paper. And you want to be able to bring multiple copies of your resume with you. We have resume paper in the Career Services office on campus, and you can also pick some up, at Walmart or Target. You may have to apply through an online tracking system like we mentioned before, or you may have to apply by emailing your resume, cover letter, and other requested information to a specific person. If email is how you are to apply, remember to send a professional email with your documents and do not send a blank email with just your materials attached. This may be the employer's first impression of you again, so you want to make sure it's a good one. All right, so this wraps up Resume Week. Thank you again so much for all of your hard work that you have put in this week on top of your courses and everything else you are juggling. We appreciate your participation and hope that you found it valuable. Today, you're going to make any final edits that you may need to, and attached is a 30-second resume checklist for your reference. Then please let us know that you participated and send your resume to our email address here by next Friday. Participants will be entered to win a $25 JCC bookstore gift card. If you want to receive feedback on your resume, please let us know. This is optional and you are not required to get a resume review for this event, but we are happy to do that if you would like one. Also, please let us know what you thought of this event. You'll receive a separate email from Handshake that will include a very short survey. So as you continue to prep for your job and internship search, remember Career Services can help you with all parts of it, from writing cover letters to doing practice interviews with you and just to helping you find opportunities and get started and learn about careers. We're available all year round and you can find us in Starfish.